before we talk about the game, I want to acknowledge the Schoaf family. I think everyone's aware of the tragedy that happened with Jake Schoaf, and so I think he had close to 50 family members at the game tonight, and was really wanting to get the win for their family as he kind of got honored tonight, and had a bunch of them in the locker room after the game, which was pretty neat. So, prayers to their family, and just glad that we could do just a small little part to hopefully honor him and show them a little bit of support during this time. Now, that being said, as far as the game goes, I thought we set the tone really well with our defensive execution coming out to start the first half. We did some really good things against a team that can be challenging to guard given their different pick and roll combinations. And then in the second half, I thought Dallin really put us on his shoulders, had, I think, 14 points in the second half. And then a couple other things I wanted to mention was just the kind of the three-headed monster at the five. I thought all three of our five men played really well in their respective roles. And then Richie's, I think someone told me that was his first double-double, which actually surprises me, but just I think that last offensive rebound that he got kind of encompasses what he's about. Just his will is just uncommon, so shout out to him for that. So with that, I'll open it up.
What are your fives? Kate had 5 blocks, and felt like he was really dominating and painting the area, especially in that first half.
Yeah.
Why do you think he just came out kind of with his hair on fire tonight?
It was fun. Apparently, he told someone that was his flu game because he hasn't been feeling well. So, but no, he did a great job, I think, in just imposing his will. We felt like the last team, which was Baylor, that we played, that switched a lot. We didn't do enough to punish their smalls switching onto our bigs, so we put a decent amount of time working on that, and I think you saw a lot of those over-the-top passes to him, which he was able to catch, gather, and finish. But his ability and tenacity, similar to Richie, to go after rebounds, I thought was big. And then the thing I like about our whole team is, and then in the second half, I go with Mihailo because they were doing a different scheme, and he's over there cheering Mihailo on. And so really, that's not normal. You got guys want to. We all want to win, but sometimes it's hard to have joy for somebody else. So shout out to him for that as well.
Kevin, did you think this late in the season you'd have an 11-man rotation?
No, I did not. No, and having depth is a blessing and a curse. And I've told this to several of our players. Even this morning, I met with one of our guys and told him that, hey, look, man, it'd make my job a lot easier if I was playing 8 guys like a lot of teams do. But, we had 41 bench points. We got guys. I have a lot of guys. We have a lot of guys that could start. And so it does make my job harder and I thought that's where the game got a little funky in the second half. I couldn't find the right combination of guys, and then ultimately we end up doing that. But, I think it shows the maturity of our group to be able to, allow us to do that. And some games it's necessary, some games it's not.
What was the scout coming in on Coleman Hawkins, and how do you feel like your team performed defending Hawkins?
Yeah, I think it's 2 games in a row where we did a good job on game plan execution. The different type of players, obviously, but Javon Small required a lot of time, energy, and effort. Shout out to our coaching staff for putting together some really intelligent game plans and then our guys' ability to execute them. So with Hawkins, he's very skilled, and I thought our switching negated some of his picking and popping. We were doing some things to send him certain directions in the post or on the perimeter, I should say. And then, Dallin is a brick wall. You saw that on that first post up he had. Dallin just stood him up. So I thought our physicality was good with him, and overall just attention to detail was good on him.
Which statistic maybe impresses you the most? You out-rebound by 10, good assist field goal ratio. What kind of jumps out to you?
On a night, I think probably the fact that we had 40% of our shots were at the rim. We had 40 paint points, and that was a massive point of emphasis coming into the game. They give up the most rim shots in the Big 12, so we knew we wanted to get downhill. I think Yegor did a good job of passing up on some threes to either get himself downhill or get some paint to grade, as we call it. He had 8 assists, 2 turnovers, but I think just overall, just the that's hard to go 17 to 21 at the rim. That's hard to do, and so very good execution.
You mentioned the 3 centers and 11-man rotation. How impressed are you with your players to kind of adapt through all these different rotations that you've been throwing at them?
Very impressed. Like I said, I think it speaks to their maturity. And guys stay ready. Like even Dallin, to be able to, sometimes I get him in early, sometimes I get him a little bit later. He comes in and really, like I said, stabilized the game. I thought when he came in the second half. But again, I understand. Like I've been around long enough and coached enough teams to know that like that's not normal to have a team that's just committed to winning, whatever it takes. And I'm proud of our guys for being mature about it.
Any more questions?
I just want to ask about just how valuable it is to have a Richie Saunders on your team, a guy that is willing to, literally put his body on the line. He was falling all over the place. Just take me through what that kind of brings to your team.
When you see a guy playing as hard as he does, it's hard not to, match that energy, and he's, he's been here, Dallin's been next to him doing the same thing. So is Trevin. Those guys stick their nose in there. But, he's just a guy that leads by example in terms of his motor. Every coach, and my favorite thing to say about Richie, I've said it 1,000 times, but most guys that play like Richie can't shoot. No, but seriously, I saw it in the NBA all the time. It was like, oh, this guy's a really good defender and he hustles. Okay, but you can't play him and when it matters because you can't make shots because they don't guard him. Richie's incredibly efficient offensive player and has that level of motor, which is a rare combination. So we're lucky to have him.
Trey Stewart's been getting a little bit more run these past couple of games. What's led to that? What kind of impact has he had?
Yeah, Trey's a Big 12 athlete. He's a Big 12 level defender as well, and so. We've played some more dynamic guards. We feel like he's been able to come in and negate a little bit. Him and Mawut being able to sort of tag team guys, and quite frankly, he's earned it. He's had unbelievable practices, and there were times where I had to bring him in and I would tell him, hey man, life's not fair. You're playing extremely well. You're not in the rotation, and that may not change. And I learned that a long time ago, just trying to be honest with the players and. They may not like hearing what I have to say, but I just want them to know, like, I respect him enough to tell him what it is. And, he's a guy that's just stayed ready. And, I think the way he goes about his business, has a lot to do with the character of the rest of the team.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.